moment? I'd like to discuss something with you.
You want to have a conversation? Over text? Why not just come over and talk to me face to face? We live under the same roof, so there's nothing wrong with having a direct conversation, right?
Have you considered that maybe I prefer not to talk in person? Honestly, seeing your face and having a conversation with you makes me uncomfortable.
Sweetheart, there's no need to use such harsh words to me. I was just offering a suggestion.
Please don't call me sweetheart. It gave me goosebumps just to think about it. You're not my mom. You'll never be her. Got it? You may have been married to my dad, but you're not my mother. So stop telling me what to do. I hate it when you do that.
I understand your perspective, and I apologize if I crossed a line. That wasn't my intention. I don't see why something as minor as this has to turn into a major argument. I mean, I've been married to your father for 15 years now. Despite living together for more than a decade, I expected our relationship to have improved by now, especially since your father passed away recently. It's just the two of us. We need to learn to get along better.
What? I won't live with you any longer than necessary. I want you out of the house as soon as possible. Got it?
Excuse me? I'm sorry, but you want me to leave the house?
Yeah, that's what I said. This is actually what I've been wanting to discuss with you since the beginning of Dad's funeral the other day. Now that he's gone, you're no longer his wife, and there's no familial bond holding us together. You mean nothing to either my dad or me now? Therefore, you have no right to stay in this house any longer. That's why I want you gone as soon as possible.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry, but I can't understand the sudden change from you. Where is all of this coming from?
Didn't you read my previous message? This situation didn't just happen out of the blue, you know? Honestly, it feels like you're not really paying attention to what I'm saying. I never invited you into my life, and I certainly never wanted you to marry my dad. I've been thinking about how to ask you to leave, and now I feel I have a valid reason. Despite my mom leaving us years ago, I still consider her my only mom. That's a big part of why I hate you so much. It seems like you entered our lives pretending to be someone you're not. Living with someone who brings me such strong negative feelings is not something I could endure. Is that even something you would want? No, right? That's why I'm seizing this opportunity to ask you to leave so I won't have to deal with you in my life anymore.
Ella, I've known for a while, even before we got married, that you never really liked me, maybe even hated me, but I chose to overlook it. Trying to force me out of the home where I've spent the last 15 years of my life, especially so soon after the funeral, is extremely difficult for me to understand.
Absolutely. And now that my father has passed away, there's no one left to advocate for you. No one else to welcome you into her home, filled with memories of our family, our biological parents. Furthermore, this house belonged to my father, so it's mine now. I have the freedom to do as I please with it. So please, just leave quickly.
But Elle, if I leave now, you'll be alone in this spacious place. Have you ever lived independently before? Do you know how to look after yourself?
Of course I can manage on my own. I'm turning 20 soon. Living independently is no big deal. Do you think I'm too weak or unintelligent to handle it? Are you mocking me?
Elle, I'm not trying to look down on you in any way. I would never do that. I'm just concerned about you. Handling chores and cooking is one thing, but how will you financially sustain yourself?
Just stop nagging me. I've told you before. You're not my mother and you shouldn't act like one.
The expense of your college is not cheap, though. I'm just curious about how you plan to afford the expenses of living alone. Even the inheritance from our father won't last forever, you know.
Who asked you to be concerned about me? I don't remember requesting your concern. When it comes to finances, I'll figure things out on my own and pave my own path in life.
It won't be as straightforward as you assume, though.
How many times do I need to emphasize this? Focus on your own business. This is precisely why I dislike conversing with you. Just leave me alone already, okay? By the way, why don't you start packing up and leave?
Well, if that's genuinely how you feel about everything, then I suppose I have no option but to leave the house. Can you at least grant me more time to organize my belongings? I understand you want me to go out early, but it's not as simple as you think. Before I can move out, I have a lot of things to finish, like going through your father's stuff.
No, that's not going to happen. Who knows what you might attempt to take if I allow you to go through all of my dad's belongings. Moreover, if I permit you to stay any longer, you'll inevitably find reasons to prolong your stay, and nothing will change. Did you really think I'd let you get away with that? Now I ask you to leave the house. As his daughter, I have the right to decide who resides in his house after his passing. If you truly comprehend my perspective, then you'll simply be silent, pack your belongings, and move out.
Oh, I understand now. I suppose I never realized the intensity of your desire to live together. Okay, I'll follow your wishes and leave the house. You won't have to endure my presence again.
Oh, Mom, don't worry. I recognize your attempt to emotionally manipulate me with your promise of never returning. But rest assured, once you're gone, I won't be shedding any tears. In actuality, quite the reverse.
Well, if that's how you feel, then so be it. However, be aware that managing life on your own and handling the associated responsibilities might be challenging once I'm no longer around. It's not as easy as you may think.
Oh, I'm not the least bit concerned, Mom. The thought of managing my own life without your constant presence is genuinely frightening. I believe I can handle it perfectly well.
It's easy to say that now, but life has a way of bringing us back to reality, my dear. Don't be too hasty in disregarding the support and stability I've offered you. You might realize you missed it sooner than expected.
Missing it? Are you serious? I'll be enjoying the independence and freedom that come with having you gone. No more nagging, no more incessant criticism. It will be my dream life, you know.
Well, if that's genuinely how you feel, then I won't hinder your path any longer. Just bear in mind, actions have consequences, and you'll have to face them independently. Best of luck, Elle. I hope you discover the happiness you think you can achieve without me.
Oh, I'm confident I'll be okay without you, Mom. So, don't concern yourself with me. I'll be living my best life, liberated from your presence. Goodbye, Mom.
Elle, I wanted to inform you that I've completed moving my belongings out of the house. I appreciate everything you've done, even though we didn't get along.
Who gave you permission to message me? Did I inquire about your moving process or mention needing a report? If you can't respect my wish to cut ties, I'll block you.
No, you're right. I apologize for reaching out. This will be the last you hear from me. However, I need to discuss the rent for the house. I understand this month has been challenging, so you're exempt. But starting next month, I'll be collecting rent from you.
Rent? For what? The house? What are you talking about? For the house?
Yes, actually, I'm referring to the house. We've been living together as a family, so rent wasn't necessary. However, since you've made it clear you want to cut ties with me, I now see myself as your landlord.
Have you lost your mind or something? Why should I pay you rent to stay in my dad's house?
The reason is that the house is actually mine.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? I don't understand.
How come? Oh, Elle, were you unaware of that? I hold the deed to the house we all used to live in.
What? That's not true? You're just lying to me. I've always lived here, even before my dad and you were married. This house belongs to my family. This is not your place. You're not telling the truth.
Yeah, your dad used to hold the title to the house, but I acquired it from him about 7 years ago. You might not remember, but your father fell victim to a telephone scam and lost a significant thin amount of money. It was a tough situation for him, and I stepped in to help settle his debts. In gratitude, your dad offered me the house then and there.
Wait, how'd you get so wealthy, huh? In all the time I've known you, I have never once seen you go to work. You're just a stupid housewife.
A housewife? Well, Elle, it is simply untrue. I actually run my own company. Did you really not know about that at all?
What? You mean you're the CO? Since when was this?
Yeah, I've had it for a while now, but since we operate online, our staff works remotely. I understand it may seem surprising, especially since I spend a lot of time at home. However, a significant portion of that time is devoted to managing my company.
That's not true. You're being dishonest with me.
I'm not lying, Ellie. It's the truth, I swear. That's how I was able to assist your father when he fell victim to fraud.
You're telling me the truth then?
Of course I am. I would never mislead you. Do you believe me when I assert that the house is genuinely mine? Regardless, the rent for the upcoming month is set at $1,000. All right.
What? $1,000? There's absolutely no way I can manage to cover that expense.
Well, you can't live in a house you don't own without paying rent. Also, if I recall correctly, you mentioned something about adulthood granting the ability to live on your own, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did say that, but I wasn't aware of all these details until just now.
What did you anticipate would happen? Did you assume you could simply approach and demand money from me whenever you needed it?
Were you going to attempt to make me foot the bill while you boasted about owning your house? I understand that as an independent adult, you're perfectly capable of assisting me. It's just that $1,000 is a substantial amount to pay all at once.
Well, I apologize, but ultimately I am the property owner. So if you're contemplating kicking me out of the house to live on your own, then you'll need to pay rent to the landlord.
But hold on. Surely we can negotiate this.
Well, how about I make you a deal? I won't require you to pay rent for the first 2 months, but if I don't see any payments after that, I'll have to ask you to kick you out. Anyway, I'm a bit occupied at the moment, so we'll need to continue this discussion later. I'll send all the rental paperwork to you this week, so keep an eye on your mailbox until then, all right? Goodbye.
Wait, don't leave. We're not finished yet. London, are you there? There's something I need to discuss with you.
Oh, Elle, of course. What do you need assistance with?
Well, the situation is, I suppose what I wanted to inquire about is, I'm just curious if you've forgiven me yet.
Forgiven you? For what? What are you referring to?
Oh, it's just that earlier I might have lost my temper a bit, and anyway, I've calmed down now and realized that I might have made a small mistake.
I apologize, but I don't fully understand what you're referring to. I understand this might be challenging for you at the moment, but could you please just clarify what exactly you're discussing?
I'm trying, but I suppose what I'm trying to convey is that I think if you wanted to return home now, that would be acceptable to me.
Oh, really? Has anything changed? I feel like you just asked me to leave the house. Why the sudden change?
Well, yes, I did do that, but then I suppose I became aware of how important you are around the house, and how much there is to do without you. I suppose that explains why.
I believe it would be best if you just expressed your true thoughts. We would both save a ton of time that way. But if you're realizing that managing a house on your own is challenging, then I completely agree with you. Thus, I'm assuming that you've changed your mind about kicking me out since you don't have the money to pay the rent.
I mean, if you expressed it in that manner,
Even if I give you everything your dad left me, even the will, I still doubt you'd have enough to buy the house back from me, and you would probably deplete your inheritance rather soon unless you were able to find additional income. And all of this doesn't even consider the other expenses beyond rent.
well, yes, that's what I'm realizing. Moreover, keeping a large house like this is quite challenging. I dislike having to cook for myself every day, too. On top of that, I have my classes and homework to manage. Additionally, I need to think of how to afford the rent. It's taking a toll on me both physically and mentally.
Certainly it is. I thought that living on your own might be especially tough for someone like you. Despite that, you thought you were prepared to handle an entire house by yourself.
You're right. I guess I never fully appreciated all the things you did for us when we lived together. That's why I sincerely want to apologize for the bratty attitude I had with you the other day. I swear that I will never kick you out of the house again. I promise you that I will make every effort to mend the relationship between us. Please reconsider returning.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I just apologized.
Your animosity towards me was so intense that you expelled me from my own home shortly after your father's funeral. Now, you're seeking my return because you're having trouble with the real world and realizing it's not as simple on your own. Have you considered how you'll manage?
I've reflected on my actions and acknowledged the considerable trouble I caused you over the years. Please, I'm sorry. What more can I say?
I believe you're only apologizing because you've grasped the difficulty of managing your life independently. You just want the person who used to handle cooking and cleaning for you to return and resume those responsibilities.
No, that's not true, I promise. I really want to mend things between us and attempt to be friends.
Well, Elle, that's the issue. I mean, when I reflect on it, I can't recall a single positive memory from our interactions. I've put in a lot of effort over the years, trying to get you to notice and value me. However, all you've done in recent years is either disregard me or criticize me. You've considered my presence in this house solely for your own convenience, even if you hadn't realized it until now. I genuinely don't believe I owe you the forgiveness you're seeking.
Please don't say that. Can't we discuss this? I'm sure we can find a resolution. Please, I can't handle this on my own. Please, Mom, I'm pleading with you.
I thought we meant nothing to each other.
Why are you acting like you're my daughter now?
How could you?
By the way, I'll be expecting next month's rent soon. I'll send you my bank details shortly, and you can make the payments through there.
Come on, Mom. Let's sit down and have a sincere, lengthy conversation. Surely we can talk through our issues and find a way to reconcile. I can't bear the idea of facing this alone.
Oh, now you want to talk? After the entire turmoil and disregard you've shown me, I thought we had established that we meant nothing to each other. It's a bit too late for you to suddenly act like my long-lost daughter in desperate need of my help.
How could you say that? I may have made mistakes, but I never stopped loving you or desiring a relationship with you. I wish we could move on and rebuild what we once had.
Isn't that absurd? I guess it's no surprise that money is your only concern, right? Do you remember the day you kicked me out of the house? At that moment, did you ever consider our relationship?
I never wanted that to happen, Mom. It was heartbreaking for us both to lose Dad. At the moment, I was consumed with my own suffering and confusion. I didn't handle it well, and I'm sorry. But please remember, even amid my turmoil, I still loved you and wanted a relationship with you.
Love and words are easy, Elle. It's actions that matter. Your actions spoke volumes that day. It's not solely about the pain you experienced. It was about the way you treated me, your own mother. Have you ever considered the impact it had on our relationship?
I acknowledge my past mistakes, Mom, and I can't change what's already happened. However, I've invested significant time reflecting on that day and the decisions I made. I've matured and learned from it. Can't you perceive that? Can't you find it within yourself to grant me an opportunity to make amends?
Change takes more than just reflection, Ellie. It demands consistent effort and actions. Rebuilding broken trust is crucial. I'm uncertain if you genuinely understand the depth of the hurt you caused. Anyway, I have no more words for you, so goodbye, Ellie.
Wait, please. This wasn't supposed to happen like this. I've apologized. I've contemplated my actions. Please, come back to me.
Following that incident, Elle persistently attempted to apologize. However, it revealed a growing realization that her motives primarily revolved around evading household responsibilities and rent payments. The recurring apologies underscored her self-serving intentions, causing me increasing frustration with Elle's lack of genuine remorse attitude. After that, I decided to seek help from Elle's aunt. I believed she would teach Elle the essential skills to instill discipline, household management capabilities, and financial accountability before she truly grew up. Elle is now residing in her aunt's house. Our former residence remained vacant, prompting me to take on the responsibility of its maintenance. While the thought of living with Ellie no longer crosses my mind, given that she is the daughter of someone I once loved, I sincerely wish for her to experience happiness in her life. Despite our disparities and the tension in our relationship, I maintain a hopeful belief that she will eventually find her own journey toward fulfillment and contentment.
Hey, Mom! I'm grateful for your generous wedding gifts. The appliances you gave me are truly appreciated. I had confidence in your support when it came to the major items.
Of course, baby girl. Congratulations on your upcoming marriage. I wish I had the ability to offer further assistance. You don't have to thank me individually like this, sweetheart. As your mother, it was my pleasure to help.
Well, thank you, but you're not.
What? What?
You're not my biological mother, I mean.
Regardless, I wanted to express my gratitude and let you know that I appreciate you.
What do you mean, baby?
Did you think I didn't know? Did you believe I was behaving as a dutiful daughter all this time simply because I thought you were my birth mother?
What are you talking about? Of course I am your mother.
Please don't feign ignorance with me. It's not becoming of you. Merely raising me for 28 years doesn't inherently make you my biological mother. Nurturing, clothing, and imparting knowledge to me for the past 3 decades doesn't make my genes magically yours.
What are you trying to say here, Celine?
Stop saying what it makes you sound so stupid. You had your fun, didn't you? Playing baby with someone else's child? Have you once thought about what my real mom had to go through? After she lost her baby to a stranger? All the while, here you were, pretending to be a great mom, playing dress up.
Celine, what has gotten into you? Where is this all coming from? Why is it that you heard? Who told you this? And what exactly did they say? I can't believe you're spewing out these awful, hurtful things at me. Are you even thinking about what you were saying?
Hurtful? Am I the one being hurtful? When are you stealing a week-old baby from her mother? You don't get to tell me I'm being hurtful.
Celine,
Without your involvement, my biological mother could have married Daddy and we could have formed a genuine, complete family. If it weren't for you, I would never have had to grow up with a fake mom. My poor birth mother had to go on living her life with her heart broken into a million pieces, and I ended up living this humiliating pretend life. All because of you.
Celine, you have got this all wrong. I didn't steal you as a newborn from anyone. I would never do that. That is beyond a felony. Your birth mother brought me to you, and she handed you over to me. She said she wasn't going to have a child as a single mother. She vowed to never show her face again as long as I took you in and raised you as my own. Then your poor birth mother even demanded money in exchange for you, like I asked to take you away from her. I offered, of course, but who's that? It was like she was selling you to me.
Giving her a little money was the least you could have done for her. She gave you her baby for God's sake. Have you been sore about the donation all these years? Have you been keeping a score or something? This is really trashy. And you wouldn't even have taken me so eagerly if you weren't bearing yourself, would you? So don't give me any of that, oh, I raised you with my hard crap because you didn't do it for me. You did for yourself. You did it to satisfy your own selfish greed of being a mom and a wife, to fulfill your ideal of a perfect family. You probably pretended your butt off so you could appeal how perfect a mom and wife you are to Daddy.
Sweetheart, I have never once thought of you as anything other than my own daughter. I considered you a miracle gift from God. I spent the last 28 years being nothing but grateful, and tried my best to show that gratitude through raising you. And boy, am I proud of the woman you've become. You're just stressed right now from all the wedding craze. I can understand, but enough is enough.
Always on the high horse.
Aren't you?
Why don't you step down for 1 second and try to be in my mother's shoes? Step out of your fake little happy world that's being my mom and see what the rest of us are going through. What the rest of us had to go through. If you have the least bit of decency, you will know where I'm going with this. I am not your daughter anymore. I will not act the part or any other fake parts you try to force on me. So don't bother coming to my wedding. Don't bother sending me emails. Just stay out of my life. I'm done with you. I am starting a new life, and I would love it if you were no longer in it. Okay?
Celine, how long have you known that I wasn't your birth mother anyway? And who told you about it?
Oh, now you ask. Daddy told me all about it maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, that sounds right. It was when I just met Sake. Daddy, my real mom's sake, and I would go out to eat together and go shopping every now and then. You really had no idea?
What? Are you serious? I can't believe your father would do that.
Well, serves you right for thinking you could tie Daddy down by having a baby. Any baby, that is. We all know you wanted nothing but to use me as a bargaining chip to keep Daddy for yourself and provide for you. Did you really think building your happiness on other people's sadness would not have its consequences?
As I already said, I did not steal you away from your birth mother, Celine. You have to believe me, and I provided for myself as much as your father did. I didn't have to depend on him entirely. Yes, I am unable to have children of my own, but that is not at all the reason I raised you like you were. Your birth mother! She threatened to discard you at some orphanage like a piece of garbage, her word not mine, if I didn't take you. And, to my eternal shame, I did think about letting her do what she said. Because, after all, she was your father's mistress, and you were their illegitimate child. But, sweetheart, I took you in because I loved you from the moment I laid eyes on you and your tiny little fingers wrapped around my thumb. I didn't think twice about what it meant to mother your husband's child he had with a mistress, because I fell in love with you so deeply and so utterly. How you came into this world did not matter anymore. Just that you did come into my world. Can't you understand that, baby?
Look at you riding up a tear. Jerker novel.
What do you think this is, Hollywood?
Take your soppy fake story and go away. Leave me alone. I already confirmed my birth mother coming to my wedding.
As my mom, of course.
And Daddy should be sending over the divorce papers soon too. So...
Divorce? What?
Oh, why are you being so slow? Daddy told me he's never forgotten about my birth mother, his true love. He couldn't leave you because you were so adamant about giving me a proper childhood with loving parents and all that crap.
But now that I'm a grown adult who can take care of herself, he's finally opening his eyes to possibilities, I guess.
To go after his own happiness? See, if it weren't for you, the three of us could have lived happily as a real family. You tore us apart. You shattered our future together, and you've had your share of fun. It's time to set things right, Anne. So leave us be, and if it turns out it's your turn to spend the rest of your life in sadness and regret, then deal with it. My mom surely did for long enough.
All right. If this is what you truly want, I'll leave you to be with your real parents. Mind you, I'll have to cancel the $30,000 charge on my credit card for the things I ordered off your registry. And I'll have you, when your daddy's belongings, packed up into suitcases or something, and leave them by the door. Come get them, and go on off to wherever it is that you want to go off to.
Wait, what? What?
Cancel this stuff from my registry. Why would you do that? Those were for my wedding. Why would you cancel gifts from a registry, Mom?
Mom? I thought you didn't want me to be your mom, let alone think of me as one. If I could, I would get a refund on everything I spent in the past 28 years raising you. But since I can't do that, I'm only canceling the gifts that I mistakenly purchased for a wedding I'm apparently not even invited to anymore. Oh, your honeymoon was reserved with my credit card too, wasn't it? And your wedding menu? What about the catering service? Flowers? Photographer? I believe there was a videographer too, in there somewhere. I wonder what the last-minute cancellation fees for those places will amount to. Surely not a drop in the bucket compared to what I've gladly spent on you your whole life.
Oh my God, that's so petty. You can't take back gifts?
Who's that? You got me those things because you wanted to, didn't you?
There are no takebacks.
How do you call yourself a mother? It's your only daughter's wedding.
I thought I couldn't call myself a mother. Isn't that what you were telling me? You can run up precious birth mother and ask her for help. Why ain't you? Surely she can help with the venue and the food and the photography. And the honeymoon. Since she loves you so much and has never had the chance to show it, surely she will jump at the chance.
Wow, so there is. You did think of me as a stepchild, didn't you? Your words say you love me like your own, but your actions speak volumes about how you really felt all these years.
You kept a tally of the money you spent on me.
Seriously? Would you have done that if I were your real biological daughter?
You know what? Fine.
My mom can cover the venue and honeymoon. Jake probably has some money saved up too. We don't need your help.
All we need from you now is to sign those divorce papers.
You got it. The sooner the better. Yes, it is as you just witnessed. After a childhood accident, I became physically unable to conceive a child. But when my husband brought his child that he had with his mistress, I took her in and raised her as my own for almost 3 decades. What woman on God's green earth can easily forgive her husband for his infidelity, adultery, and also be able to accept his illegitimate child under her wing? Don't get me wrong, I didn't think I could either. And in a way, I'm uncertain if I ever did forgive him. But all that mattered was, in that moment, I laid eyes on what must have been nothing but a lump of flesh, and she opened her eyes to look into mine. I touched her hand with mine, and she wrapped my thumb around with her tiny, delicate fingers. She was my own. God works in mysterious ways, I thought to myself. This perfect child was sent to me from God, so that she could be mine now. I could be hers. I believe that blood was thicker than water, but love was stronger than anything. My Salim brought me happiness I'd never imagined before. That moment when she first called me Mama, when she took her first steps, when she would eat the food, I prepared for her like it was the best thing in the whole world, as she would walk holding my hand, when she gave me handmade artwork on Mother's Day. She had been filling my once empty heart until it overflowed with a kind of love I've never felt before. I never imagined she'd one day come to say those hurtful, horrible things she said today. My husband quickly admitted to his ongoing affair with Selim's birth mother, and my 33 years of marriage to him came to an abrupt close. Immediately after returning home from the courthouse, I threw their belongings into any box I could find and left them outside my door. As I was working through the shock of seeing my half-empty house for the first time, I received a text from my now ex-husband.
Later.
Hey, where are you? My keys aren't working, and neither is my garage opener. Did you already replace them? That was quick, Anne. Good on you. I brought a XC bucket and some beers, your favorite. I thought you and I were overdue for a chicken and beer date night. Open up, Anne.
Deny, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be with your daughter in true love by now? You know, the woman who makes your heart ache by just thinking about her? The woman who you had a child with. The woman whom a few days ago you gave everything else up to be with again. Did you forget? What are you doing here with chicken and beer at this ungodly hour anyway?
I'm done with her. I left her. We're over. I finally realized there is no woman like you, Anne. You're the kindest, the most patient person I know. I was immature and naive to let you go. I hurt you, I know, I'm so sorry. And I never showed you how much I appreciated you for all you've done for this family. You've forgiven me once before. Can't you do it again? I'll change, I promise. I'm a victim here too, by the way. That witch was so full of it. She didn't want me. She never wanted me. She was just using me this whole time so she could tag along when I take Selim out to eat or go shopping, so that she herself could get what she wanted. I may have bought her a handbag or two, but that's it, I swear. She's even got a young boyfriend she's seeing. She doesn't want to marry me and settle down. She said so herself. She's the absolute worst. I love you, baby. Come on.
She may be the worst, but she's Selim's biological mother, isn't she? Surely she wants her baby back in her life, and wants to build some kind of belated relationship with her. I heard she was attending the wedding and everything is mother of the bride. The optics aren't bad right now, Deny.
The optics, yes. But it's not that simple, Anne. She was only going to attend the wedding so she could sit through the wedding gifts and see what she could claim for herself. You know she demanded to be paid to come to her daughter's wedding? I had to wire her $10,000 2 weeks ago. She made me cut all ties with you, abandoning everything I owned with you like my house and my clothes. Then she left me high and dry. Selim and I went to see her after the wedding with all our suitcases, and she shut the door in our faces. We didn't even get to see inside of her house. Anne, can you believe that? What mother does that to her own daughter? Me, I understand, but her daughter. Are you gonna sit and take this for our Selim? She's heartbroken right now. You'll say something, Anne.
Selim made it abundantly clear that I am not her mother. In one single conversation, she took away all my hard work and dedication as her mother and basically erased me from her world. I realize now that trying to hold on to her was like holding on to a fistful of sand. No matter how tight or hard I try to keep all the sand in my hand, it will find its way out between my fingers.
But you were happy being her mom, weren't you? You loved her with all of your heart. You still love her, I know you do. Even if Selim and her youth, it raises 28 years of her life with you. Surely you can't.
I did have some great times with Selim. I sure did. She was my everything. But the accusations she hurled at me, they were cruel. Deny. That side of her didn't come from my nurturing. It's her nature. It's the nature of your mistress. I can't get past that, at least not just yet, Deny. Maybe a real biological mother could have easily forgiven her daughter for something like this. So I guess I'm no better than what Selim thought of me. Because in the end, I'm not her real mother.
After that.
Mom, it's me, Selim. I'm so sorry, Mommy. Can you please forgive me? I know what got into me. If you let us back in, I will never think or talk about my real mom ever again. I'll be the best daughter to you, the kind of daughter you deserve to have. I promise. Please, Mom. We have nowhere else to go, Mom. Daddy and I will come inside and beg if you want us to. Please let us in and you can help me with my wedding plans again. Remember how fun that was?
Let's go to the mall together. Just you and me, like good old times.
We can stop at the food court and get some cheese fries like we used to.
I miss your meatloaf, Mom. I miss your awesome meatloaf with real breadcrumbs.
Will you teach me how to make it?
I want to pass it down to my kids, too.
It'll be an heirloom recipe.
If I learned anything from this whole ordeal, it is that I wasn't as big a person as I thought I could be. I cannot find it in me to forgive you too for what you've done. I guess I am but an evil stepmother like you said after all. Our relationship ends here, Selim and I. Thank you for the many happy memories you've allowed me. The past 28 years, Selim. Whether they were real for you or not, I will cherish them forever because they were real to me. I will try to keep only the happy memories of you. But now it's time for you to leave me and never come back. Don't make this any easier for us. Goodbye, Selim.
After that.
The determined father and daughter pair relentlessly pounded and struck the door until I dialed the police, resulting in the arrival of 2 patrol officers to address the situation. Selim's fiancé, Jake, along with his family, openly expressed their disappointment over the abrupt cancellation of the wedding venue and the forfeiture of the honeymoon payments. Furthermore, they even proposed temporarily halting all wedding arrangements and contemplating the future of the union. In the end, and rather swiftly, Jake ended the relationship with Selim just days before their scheduled wedding. Selim sent me a barrage of curses via text, blaming me for the breakup and demanding that I resolve the situation. Despite my usual inclinations, I disregarded her messages and phone calls. If there is anything that requires fixing, it is myself and the need to reclaim my own life by excluding her and her father from it. It is long overdue for me to live the remainder of my life in freedom, dedicating it solely to myself and the pursuit of my own happiness. In a sense, it saddens me to have devoted my best years to raising a child who had no choice but to evolve into a monster like her biological mother. Nonetheless, I have no regrets because ultimately Selim has taught me the kind of love that I will persistently seek in my life's journey. It is time for me to embark on a fresh new chapter of this unpredictable adventure called life.
Oh my goodness, Jane. Are you back in your room playing on the computer again? I remember I told you about this before. As a housewife, you can't keep neglecting your responsibilities. You must do the house chores. It doesn't look good, and Scott doesn't deserve this.
Hello, April. Actually, I'm out of the house right now. I haven't locked myself in my room again.
Oh, really?
Did you use the extra key to enter our house without asking our permission? Scott was supposed to retrieve that key from you.
He did, but I had already made an extra key before he took it back. I'm glad I did.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
But that's not the main issue. Why are you out at this time of day? It's lunchtime. Where are you going right now? Wait, don't tell me that you're cheating on my son.
No, I would never do that. I'm actually standing on the side of the road texting you. I have somewhere to be, so I have to go.
Can't believe you go out with the house being messy.
By the way, don't enter my office without permission. The door is locked, and I'd appreciate your respect for that.
Jane, who do you think you're talking to?
Excuse me, April. I need to go. Have a nice day, but please respect my privacy. The next day.
Hey, Jane. Can you spare a moment to chat with me?
Hi, April. Sure. What's up? Is everything all right?
Listen, I'll be straight to the point. You'll be staying with me from now on.
Wait, what? Why the sudden change? Living with you. Why would I agree to that?
No need to hide it, Jane. I know about your recent hospital visit. They've informed you have only a short time left to live. You don't have to keep it a secret. What do you mean I was told I have limited time left?
Are you sure you're not confusing me with someone else?
No confusion. I heard you've got only 5 months left to live. I can't believe you married my son while knowing your time left is so short. What a mess of a situation we had such a woman in the family. It's unbelievable. You really shocked us.
April, first of all, where on earth did you get this information?
You went to the hospital yesterday, didn't you?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did. But it was just to visit one of my relatives who's currently hospitalized.
No way. I know you're lying to me. What I really want from you is to divorce my son immediately. The fact that you tricked Scott into marrying you without telling him is worse, though. I can't believe how selfish and deceitful you've been. I must make you pay for the cost of your actions, and you'll regret ever getting involved with Scott. You must spend the remaining months of your life serving me. From now on, you'll be living with me, and I want to make it clear that I won't allow you to go to the hospital, no matter how sick you are.
Huh? I can't give you an immediate answer to that. Maybe I have to discuss it with Scott for a while.
I wasn't asking, but I suppose it's better for you to agree so people don't think I forced you. You better make up your mind right now. Just say okay.
It's not that easy, Mom. Shortly after that, hey, Scott, are you still at work? I need to tell you something. Mind if we chat for a moment?
Sure, what's going on, Jane?
I'm currently talking to your mom, and she's saying some really strange things. It's all quite confusing.
Again? What was she saying?
Honestly, I have no idea what she's talking about. It's pretty nonsensical.
What's her latest claim?
She's asserting that I have only 5 months left to live. During that time, I should repay her for the trouble she went through after I married you, and put her in a bad situation. On top of that, she wants me to live with her and serve her during my last days.
What the heck? That's absurd! Apparently, just a month ago, you won the title Super Healthy after a physical exam. But now you supposedly have only 5 months left to live? She must have lost her mind.
Seems that way. She claims she heard it from the doctor. Where did she even get that information? Me having 5 months left to live? This is ridiculous.
It's quite a mystery. Probably something got misconstrued along the way.
Yeah, most likely. It's the same issue every time. By the way, I'm pretty certain your mom entered the house without permission again. Badly. She even eavesdropped on me while I was working in my office.
You might be right.
Your mom's actions are quite unusual. It's putting me in an awkward position. What should I do right now?
Well, since you've already completed all the preparations for everything, there's not much to worry about. Let's just face the situation head on. If anything, this gives us even more justification to proceed with our plans.
You have a point. All right then. Talk to you later.
I love you.
Love you too. Immediately after that.
Hi, Jane. I haven't heard back from you yet. I need a response right now. How much longer do you think it'll take for you to reply?
I apologize for the delay in getting back to you. I was on a call with a friend.
All right. So what's your answer? I don't want to receive a no from you, you know.
My response to your last message, right? Okay. I won't go to the hospital.
Well, I'm relieved to hear that. I intend to keep you busy. I'll be making the most of this opportunity.
If it's okay with you, I'd like some time to get ready before I move.
What exactly do you need time for?
How could I move in without any extra clothes or my belongings? Do you want me to wear the same outfit every single day without changing?
Well, you do have a point.
I guess I do, don't I? Could you please allow me a week to organize and pack all my belongings? I believe I can manage to gather everything I need during that time. Oh, due to that, the house won't be cleaned for a week. It's likely to get quite dusty. Given your bad allergies, I'm concerned you'll struggle with sneezing and a runny nose due to the dust. It might be best for you to avoid coming to the house.
You're correct. I wouldn't want to trigger my allergies. Dealing with constant sneezing is always a hassle. Waiting for a week shouldn't be a problem for me. I can wait.
Okay, then. I will hurry up to pack things. A week later.
Hey, Jane, where are you right now? It's been a week, and today's the appointed day. Have you completed all your packing? It's getting quite late. You must hurry up and get over here. I've saved a bunch of house chores for you to handle. A stack of trash awaits you. Not just that, but I want you to clean the tub, windows, and the hallways for me. There's so much for you to do. Oh, I've got forgotten. There's a sink full of dishes accumulated over the past 3 days that need washing. I need you to handle this promptly. But before you do that, I'll have you take care of dinner for me tonight. There's nothing left in the refrigerator. You'll need to go out and buy the ingredients for dinner. I'm in a hurry right now. I will probably get back by dinner. I'm craving a porterhouse steak topped with truffles. For a better taste, you should also make mashed potatoes and steamed asparagus. Oh my God, I can't wait to taste all these dishes. And of course, you'll be covering the expenses.
Hi, April. You seem really excited about that.
Sure, considering you only have 5 months left, it makes sense. Use all of the excess money to spoil me. You can start with this meal. Hurry up.
First of all, stop imagining a life in which I serve you in that way.
What do you mean?
We only got here this afternoon, and we're still in the process of unpacking. Despite that, I have a lot of work to tackle. To ensure I can handle everything successfully, I'm taking some time to organize my life and prepare for whatever may happen in the future. Currently, I'm on the computer getting some tasks done. By the way, we're planning to go out for dinner tonight. It's been a while since I've eaten beefsteak, so I'm quite excited.
Wait, Jane, what the hell are you saying? I don't see any of your bags around, and I haven't spotted you either. You came here around noon, right? Perhaps the news of having only 5 months left to live has shocked you a bit.
1 hour later.
Jane, please answer my phone. I tried to call you several times, but didn't get any response.
Hey, April. Is everything okay?
Oh, there you are. Where in the world are you right now? I came to pick you up because I got a feeling you weren't entirely comfortable living with me. When I arrived, your neighbor told me that you just moved out this morning.
Yes, I did, along with Scott. I remember I told you about this to you earlier. We settled into our new place around noon today.
This doesn't make any sense. You were supposed to move in with me. What are you saying? You confirmed that you understood what I said before. You agreed to live with me and not go to a hospital.
I believe there's a misunderstanding. I never said that. I agreed that I wouldn't check into a hospital, but I never agreed to live with you. Scott and I had planned to move long before our conversation. More importantly, I have no reason to go to a hospital. I'm perfectly healthy.
I'm puzzled. What about you mentioning a short life expectancy?
April, did you overhear me talking in my office when you were in our house? Is that when you heard something about having only 5 months to live?
Yes, exactly. I'm totally aware. I overheard you confirming with the doctor that you have only 5 months in your life. You two were talking loudly. I caught the entire conversation.
You're really making me laugh. So now let me tell you the truth.
The truth? What's the truth?
What you overheard was a discussion related to a script that I was reviewing.
A script? What's that about?
It's work-related and confidential, so I can't provide all the details. You do know that Scott is the film director, right? And I'm a screenwriter. You may be aware that he rents an apartment for work, too.
Yes, I suppose. He's the kind of person who struggles to concentrate on work while at home, so it makes sense. He was doing that type of thing when it came to work, even when he was single and living at my house.
Exactly. And that hasn't changed even after getting married and living with me. To support him, I've set up a dedicated office space at home specifically for work. I'm sure you were aware of this. Nevertheless, you consistently chose to show up uninvited at various times of the day, disrupting our workflow and peace.
Are you still harping on that? Can't we move past it? It's heartbreaking that you perceive it as an interruption, especially considering you recently joined my family. You hardly contribute anything.
And now you're repeating the same complaints. It's like you're stuck on a broken record.
But it's the truth, isn't it?
Your own son pursued a career as a film director, and he had a lot of stress. Yet, when he married someone in the same field, suddenly you can't comprehend the nature of that work. It's completely illogical. Can't you see how biased your perspective is?
Bias? That sounds absurd.
Yes, it was a script involving a woman told she has only 5 months left to live. After reviewing it, the next step is to edit the video on the computer, incorporating the voice actor's recording and adjusting the voice based on the scenario I crafted. And I'm the person handling that task.
Oh, really?
Because of a lack of human resources, I have to take on 2 positions, script writing and video editing. Most likely, this is what happened. You likely overheard me while I was editing the video, specifically during the part where I aligned the voices for the scenario in which the woman was told she had only 5 months to live. It's likely that you misinterpreted that snippet of conversation, believing it to be about me. This misunderstanding and situation have arisen as a result.
Are you serious?
Yes, Mom. You went too far without verifying the details, and you shouldn't have been there in the first place. In order to maintain peace in our relationship, we've decided not to live with you. There has been far too much drama.
No way. I'm your mother-in-law. You have the responsibility to serve me.
It's something that has been bothering me for a long time. Do you know why Scott didn't do his work at home when he was still single and living in your house?
Yes, it was because he didn't have the personality for it. Scott couldn't concentrate well at home, and it made him feel anxious.
You're right. He couldn't focus, but it wasn't because he got anxious. He told me it was because you would always interrupt him. That's the real reason.
Me? You're saying I'm the reason?
Yes, Mom. Regardless of what he was occupied with, you always barged into his room and started talking and interrupting him. When he was immersed in checking scenes, he needed to concentrate all his attention in one place. He couldn't afford to think about anything else, let alone engage in conversation when he was trying to focus. The constant interruptions disrupted his focus daily, making him really stressed. But you didn't know how hard your son had to go through. That's why he made the decision to rent a separate apartment specifically for work, where he could go to concentrate and actually accomplish his work. He became accustomed to working in this manner, so even though he's now married, he still maintains a separate apartment for his work.
I was just trying to help. You and Scott had recently gotten married, and I figured you might not be accustomed to the new responsibilities.
I do all the house chores. Scott just helps me when he has free time or on the weekends. And it was Scott who told me to continue my work even after we get married. You couldn't help us, but also make things even worse. You're clearly trying to take advantage of me.
No, I haven't done anything.
Whatever. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm deeply disappointed in you for interfering with our lives and workflow. I'm pleading with you, please, leave us alone. We want no further involvement with you.
Why are you pushing it this far? How could you just abandon my own son? What do both of you want me to do? Scott's father and I are already divorced. Who will I have? Is he really going to leave his mother to live alone?
As Scott told me, if you prefer, we can assist you in finding a care facility in the future or help you with the necessary paperwork.
What? I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Alternatively, you could go back to your hometown and live with Grandma and Grandpa. That's another feasible option for you. By the way, you're still at an age where you can work, so take some time to reflect on it.
Even if you put it that way, it's not that simple. How can you expect me to just find a job or move back in with Scott's grandparents?
If you have a reason to contact Scott or me, please don't do that. Have Grandpa or Grandma tell us whatever message you need to share. We don't want to hear from you. We have no intention of seeing you again.
No way. You're kidding me. Please tell me it's just a joke, Jane. Please don't do this.
Goodbye, Mom. We wish you the best of luck with everything. Initially, Scott and I had plans to relocate to a distant place. However, after the misunderstanding about the 5-month life expectancy, things took a turn. Scott became visibly upset. He looked at me with an oddly happy expression and claimed moving to a place far away from her was the right move. April seemed to be in a state of shock after we left. She couldn't truly take in what had happened. Then she moved to Scott's uncle's house. He encouraged her to return to their hometown, but she insisted on living with them. It didn't take long for them to observe April's abusive behavior toward Scott's uncle's wife, and a few days later, she was ousted from their house. It appears she is now residing alone in an apartment in the neighboring city.
Hey, what exactly are you doing? Don't you realize you made me late for class? What will you do if I fail this course?
Naomi, don't take your rage out on me. You were the one who slept in. Do you have any idea how to set an alarm? I woke you up on time, as I always do.
But you just continue to sleep. Don't blame me if you don't get up.
What? Come on. You're all weird that you can't just wake me up once. You must do it until I get up. Callista, you're to blame.
Hey, I was attempting to wake you up for at least 30 minutes beginning at 6 o'clock. I tried all the way till I had to go for work, but you simply refused to get up. I have a job, and I can't spend my entire morning attempting to rouse you from your slumber. I'm sure you stayed up late last night playing video games.
No, that was not the case last night. Last night, there were no games. I was on the phone with someone. I stayed up late talking with my boyfriend.
In any case, you stayed up far too late, as you frequently do. So, it's your fault. Please don't blame me for your excessive slumber. Now that you're in college, it's time to stand on your own 2 feet.
Oh no, not another lecture. Please keep quiet. This is not something I want to hear first thing in the morning. Thank you very much, but I don't need my maid to act as my parent.
I'm not your personal maid. I'm your stepmother. When are you going to stop rebelling and contradicting me? It's gotten old.
You aren't my mother. Don't pretend to be. You will never be accepted as my mother. You're nothing more than my father's second wife. That's all. And I'll never try to befriend you. Never. I was the first one here. Don't think I'm unaware that you're mocking me since I didn't get into Stanford. You feel I'm a joke because I'm able to gain admission to your alma mater. I can sense you passing judgment on me. But take heed. Don't look down on me. You have no standing.
I'm not looking down on you. How many times have I said it to you? The process is more essential than the results. That is my opinion. It makes no difference whether you go to Stanford or not. And you have pals that are having fun at school now, right? That is all that is important. Have fun while getting an education.
It's simple for you to say. You truly irritate me at times. Enough of this. Please simply ignore me. I'll be out partying with buddies when I finish my classes today. I won't be home for supper because I'll most likely be busy all night.
Wait a minute, Naomi. That is something we must discuss. You are aware that you are not of legal drinking age. You're only 20 years old, and it's not your birthday till next month. It's only a short distance away. However, you are not permitted to drink till then. This is something your father and I have agreed on.
Is this happening again? Please give me a break. I'm no longer a child, so please let me do what I want.
You're no longer a child, but you're not old enough to drink legally, so we won't let you. That's all there is to it. You're still living here, eating our food and not paying rent, so you'll follow the house rules as long as you're here. And I'm sure your father told you the same thing.
My father, not you, is the one who pays the mortgage and puts food on the table. I rely on him, so I will follow his instructions. That is something I agree on. But I won't rely on you, and I won't take your directions.
Naomi, I get you out of bed every morning. Actually, I'd say you rely on me quite a bit.
Enough of this. This is a non-issue. Because I'm about to drink tonight, and you're not going to be able to stop me. I don't care about the home rules or your grousing. Maids do not give me commands or lectures. Understand?
Patrick, I apologize for bothering you at work. I understand how hectic your schedule is. Can you speak right now? It's crucial.
I'm just having a late lunch so I can talk right now. What's going on? Is everything okay? You never contact me at work.
It's all about Naomi. I just can't get through to her. She's sworn she'll go out drinking with her friends. I reiterated our position on the matter, but she refused to listen. The same old tale. Can you discuss it with her? I believe you should for her sake as much as ours.
She is constantly looking for a quarrel with you. Isn't she always breaking the rules? I had a serious conversation with her about this not long ago, but she doesn't appear to have taken any of it seriously.
And I realize it's a little late to ask you this, but it's something I have to do. Mark, dealing with her on these topics is quite difficult for me. I'm sorry to bother you, but could you please handle this from now on?
Sure. But may I inquire why?
Her attitude toward me has deteriorated recently. She's become so disrespectful to me that I'm worried I'll lose my cool with her. She's even begun referring to me as her maid recently. I've had enough of this.
Did she say that to you?
Yes. You know, she and I have never gotten along particularly well, but things are a bit awful right now. Recently, the relationship has taken a turn for the worse. It's strange, and I'm not sure why, but she has a fascination with Stanford. You do realize she didn't get in there, don't you? Now she's complaining about how she couldn't get in when I went there.
She couldn't get in, and she's still blaming you. That is unacceptable.
I know she worked really hard to get in, and she was willing to wait a year if necessary. Her grades were fantastic, and her teachers provided glowing recommendations. She simply did poorly on the interview essays. I'm sure that occurs to everyone. She still doesn't seem to be able to forgive herself. That's not good.
But it's inappropriate for her to vent on you. That's also not acceptable. And you're her maid. That's simply not right. She must apologize for this. Is she even aware of how much you do for her and us on a daily basis?
I genuinely have an idea. However, you may not like it. What if I go away for a while?
What exactly do you mean by go away? Are you going to abandon me? Do you want to get a divorce? Have things between you and Naomi been that bad?
No, that is not the case. Don't be alarmed. It has nothing to do with divorce. I'm talking about merely going away for a little bit. I recently received an offer to begin a new position with my firm in another city, and I'm considering it seriously.
What kind of position are you looking for? Is this a raise? Where are they going to send you?
They asked if I could accompany them to Chicago, and it's a long-term mission, likely lasting 2 years. 2 years is a long time, but it's a fantastic chance, so I'd like to pursue it and see where it takes me. Furthermore, it could be a nice method for me to put some distance between Naomi and myself. The timing appears to be favorable. What is your opinion?
Yes, I understand your point. It could be a good idea to try to calm things down a little. If we continue on as we have, both of you will get increasingly stressed by the situation. I'll be lonely, but I'll get by. I may have new opportunities as well.
Yes, I believe that placing some distance between us will help. Much more than simply discussing it. She'll undoubtedly notice I'm fleeing, but there's nothing I can do about it. However, I believe that it is the best solution to the current issue.
I know you're not going anywhere. Don't be concerned about it. You have a fantastic chance, so go to Chicago and make us proud. I'll take care of the house and Naomi. While you're away, I'll take care of everything.
Really? What do you do for me?
Without a doubt. Remember how we're a team. Naomi's recent behavior has also troubled me. I'm not liking what I'm hearing from you, nor do I like what I'm hearing from her. I'm going to chat to her about a couple things, father to daughter. Hopefully, by the time you return, this house will be more comfortable for you to live in.
That would be fantastic. Thanks. I'm excited to hear how things progress.
That reminds me of something. You deserve a break from everything. Why not take a small solo excursion before you depart next month? Spend a few days at the beach or at a resort. Isn't it good to get away? You can replenish your batteries and return to your new job rejuvenated and prepared. What do you think about that?
That's an excellent idea. That's something I'd like to do. But, Naomi's 21st birthday is right around that time. We must all assist her in celebrating that night, possibly until late.
I'm sure she'll be drinking with friends that night. We can have a family celebration whenever we choose. It is not required that it be on her actual birthday. You should proceed with your journey. Don't stress over Naomi's birthday. I'll take care of everything else.
Then I'm going to follow your advice and go on my little excursion. Thank you, my dear. We'll see you soon. Love you. Naomi, happy 21st birthday. I wish you a wonderful day. Have you already gathered all of your mates and begun drinking?
Yes, it's wonderful to see everyone. I'm having a fantastic time. And as of today, I am legally permitted to drink. So that is exactly what I intend to do in massive amounts.
That's fantastic. Have a nice time. You're an adult in every aspect now, and you can do whatever you want. However, it also implies that you must accept personal responsibility for yourself and your actions. So keep that in mind, okay? Responsibility comes with freedom.
Yes, I'm aware of everything. You have to lecture me all the time, don't you? But this means you're no longer going to treat me like a child, right?
That's most likely correct. I suppose we all need to adjust.
That's okay. In that case, I have something to say right now that I finally have the opportunity. Please leave our house, and do not return.
What?
What exactly did you say?
Yes, it is correct. I'm no longer a kid, and I don't need your lectures. So kindly simply take your belongings and leave my house. As soon as possible, please. You're no longer needed or accepted here.
What are you doing? What are you thinking? What is this all about now? What happened to you?
There's nothing unexpected about it. I've wanted you to leave for a long time. And I promised myself a long time ago that if you were still alive on my 21st birthday, I'd finally put an end to this.
Huh? And then what?
You never really understood your place, did you? You aren't his first wife and you aren't my mother. And your acts have completely irritated me. Now leave and never return.
Wow. Do you believe I'll simply vanish because you order me to?
Hey, I'm an adult, and that's how things are going to be. As a result, you can see this as a serious demand made by an adult. It is not a child's joke. As a result, you should take it seriously rather than mocking or dismissing it. Get it?
Naomi, how could you possibly? This is nasty and selfish even for you. What do you think your father would think of this?
This is the day I've been looking forward to. It's the day I become an adult and take control of my life. We no longer require your maid services. You are fired.
Have your way with it. Goodbye.
I never, ever want to see your face again.
You can now live on your own. See how that goes. Because both your father and I are departing.
What? You're simply lying now?
Absolutely not. It just so happens that your father and I had travel plans for today. That's great timing. He and I may simply vanish as you requested.
A trip? What kind of travel are you planning? He never mentioned a vacation to me.
We'll be in Chicago. I already have a place to stay there, so your father can remain with me there until we can find a place to live together. He's right here with me now, nodding his head in accord. I swear I'm not lying.
What exactly are you talking about? I don't trust any of it. And what exactly do you mean when you say you're both going to vanish? That's not possible. All I want is for you to vanish, not for my father.
No, we're leaving together. I can't take it any longer. Callista should not have to do the same.
What? Dad, is it you?
This is the final straw. Naomi, it's time I cut you off for good. From now on, you should consider yourself fatherless. I'm finished with you.
What? What exactly do you mean? I assumed you and I were fine. Dad, hold on. Where is all this coming from? I don't get it. What do you mean you're interrupting me? What is your reason for leaving? What are you attempting to accomplish here?
That is the question I should be asking. What are you thinking telling Callista she's no longer welcome in our home? She's my wife. I understand that parents remarrying can be difficult for children, and we've always done our best for you, Naomi. Callista, on the other hand, is a beautiful wife who has worked hard to take care of you as well. Despite this, you continue to treat her like a spoiled brat, no matter how old you are. You need to brush up on your manners and show respect for your elders. To put it frankly, I'm sick of your shenanigans, and she is too. As a result, we're leaving.
What? Why? I don't get it.
You must have heard me. Today is your 21st birthday, and you consider yourself an adult, correct? Fine. You can then take care of yourself as an adult. Your new life has begun. You now have no parents. What does that make you feel? And you can finally live your life as an adult, just like you've always wanted to. Best wishes.
What exactly do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean.
That house is being sold. You have 1 month to find new housing. You better hurry up.
Dad, hold on a second. How are you able to accomplish this? This cannot be true. Selling the house and moving out? What are you going to do?
Oh, sure. Callista is my choice. She acquired a new job and will be transferred for a couple of years. She's already organized and has a place to stay. It'll actually work out quite well.
Is that where you're going to live? Chicago?
Yes. When Callista leaves, it'll just be you and me here. I requested and received permission to work from home, believing that I would be able to remain at home and that it would assist to enhance your attitude. Regrettably, this has not occurred. So in any case, starting next month, I'll be working from home due to you. I've just chosen to sell the house and go to Chicago with Callista. I have the freedom to work from any place now, so that's what I'm going to do. And you've given me a cause to do it.
You can't possibly be serious. Please think about it, Dad. You're going to abandon me, your loving daughter, and go with her?
Loving daughter? Naomi? I don't see much love coming from you. You have not lived up to your moniker in the least. All I see from you is rash rage and vicious remarks directed towards my wife. I don't see you changing for years.
What? I had no idea you felt that way.
Yes, it is correct. Don't think I've been ignoring you. You were mistaken if you assumed I wasn't paying attention or didn't care. Callista has endured every insult you've hurled her way and hasn't given up. Furthermore, she has never complained to me or mouthed you about it all. Despite this, you refuse to show her any respect. You even treat her as though she's your maid. That is something I will not tolerate as her husband. I've had enough of standing on the sidelines.
Wait a second, Dad. Please allow me to clarify.
I accompanied Callista to the airport after dropping you off at your birthday celebration and escorted her to her aircraft to Chicago. Now I'm going to go home, pack my own luggage, and follow her. I just made a decision. I've already taken some time off from work, so I'll be on the aircraft as well. Anyway, it's time for a fresh start.
No, don't leave, Dad. This can't be right. I don't think so. Are you really abandoning? This is not fair.
Didn't you tell Callista to leave? You instructed her to leave? Aren't you receiving what you asked for? She's no longer with us as of today.
But this isn't at all what I asked for. No way. I just wanted Callista to leave. Not you either, Dad. And you're selling your home. That was not something I asked for.
But Naomi, your words and actions welcomed all of this. Do you see it yet? I believe it is time for you to pause.
Please wait. I'll make a change. What should I do once you board the plane? How will I survive? Who is going to pick me up after my birthday party? Dad, you're supposed to pick me up. We just discussed it a few hours ago.
You'll have to come up with something on your own. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to attend.
Huh. That's not feasible, you know. I don't have any cash with me for a taxi, and they don't accept credit cards. So, what should I do?
Figure it out on your own. You are, as you stated, an adult now. I'm sure you'll come up with something.
Oh, please.
I'll send you the remainder of your tuition money all at once. After that, it's up to you. Naomi, be the mature young lady you are and do what needs to be done. I'm confident you can.
Please wait a moment, Dad. Please.
Goodbye and best wishes. And congrats on being a full-fledged legal adult. I know you'll be a good one someday after you learn a few more lessons.
Are you actually planning to sell this house? The movers were already on the job today? It appears that they have taken everything but my belongings.
Yes, I believe it is taking place. My apartment in Chicago is quite large. Your father and I believe we will be able to live nicely there together.
Tell me where it is. I wish I could be with you too. Please send me the address.
No, I don't think so. How will you finish college if you relocate all the way here?
I can attend lessons online. That's so simple these days. Please allow me to live with you too.
Nope. Sorry.
So where should I live? Don't you feel terrible for me? Getting thrown out like this?
No way. And if you've got time to complain like this, you've got time to find a new place to live. Get moving so you don't wind up on the street.
Where am I supposed to look? I have no idea where to start looking.
Go online and start looking.
Online? Where to look on the internet? I have no idea where to go for websites.
Sure, there are a lot of them. You need to narrow them down. Begin by searching for properties online, then narrow them down.
But how do I choose between them?
You do this by considering pricing, location, facilities, and so forth. It is determined by your unique demands and desires.
But I'm not sure what I require. I also have no idea how much rent should be. I have no idea about amenities, layouts, or anything else. If you're going to abandon me like this, at least stick with me until I get things sorted out.
Naomi, believe me, this will be a fantastic learning experience for you. Keep going, youngster.
No, you're not just going to abandon me like this. I'm not going to believe it. You must at the very least assist me in finding a suitable apartment. You have no choice.
Naomi, you're an adult now. You stated it yourself. Remember how you no longer require the services of a maid? I'm confident you'll be able to handle everything on your own. Best of luck.
Callista, you must assist me. I need assistance or I'll end up on the street. The landlord of the flat I desire says I have to pay 2 months' rent, plus a cleaning deposit, up ahead.
Then pay him, you dummy. Your father has already paid for your tuition and living expenses. So what's the issue? You should, by the way, express your gratitude to him.
He didn't give me nearly enough. I've been staying with friends here and there, and I've been repaying them by taking them out to eat and purchasing groceries for them. I've also had problems getting to class on time at times, so I've had to utilize cabs to avoid being late. I already have nothing left. If I don't obtain some assistance, I might have to delve into my tuition savings.
What? How did all of this come about?
Callista, pay attention. I sincerely apologize for all that has occurred previously. Please accept my apologies. My stay at a friend's house has definitely opened my eyes. Callista, I get it now. I noticed how hard you worked at home every day. I'll never treat you like one of my buddies again. I guarantee it. Please accept my apologies. I mean, as my father's wife, you're like my mother, right? Please, as a mother, do not abandon me in this manner.
Naomi, your father and I divorced.
What? What?
Yes. So I'm no longer your father's wife, and I'm no longer your mother, or, of course, your maid.
That cannot be correct. Have you and your father divorced?
Yes, on paper. But we're still together.
So, what's the point of all of this?
Your father came up with the idea. He didn't want you to cause me any more problems, so he proposed we split formally. That way, you and I have no relationship, and I won't be drawn into any of your difficulties. So when and if you marry and have someone to look after you, your father and I will remarry.
That's insane.
But Naomi, I doubt anyone wants to marry you right now. So there's no telling when your father and I will be able to remarry.
You're absolutely correct. I don't believe anyone would want to marry me. That is why we must return to the previous state.
No way. That's not going to happen. So Naomi, take care. Remember, you have the option of spending all of your tuition money, but that is your duty. Consider it carefully because you are the only one on who you can rely right now.
Following that, I learned that Naomi used her tuition money to pay the deposit for the apartment, and she was eventually moved in. She was obliged to start working as a waitress while still studying, and she rapidly found herself missing classes and arriving late to work. She appears to have already spent a large portion of her tuition money on other activities, putting her college degree in peril. When Patrick found out about all of this, he simply stated that it was all Naomi's responsibility, and that he would no longer be assisting her. We'll be returning here after my mission in Chicago is over, but we'll keep it secret. Will we get to meet Naomi after she graduates from college and finds a nice job?